or should I say good morning to all my late night Phillies fans. What's going on? Welcome in the Fighting's Final here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network. I'm Big Al, and the Phillies win a series, well-needed series win after dropping the last two. First the Reds and the Guardians. West Coast trip against, I figured, this competition was getting stiff with the Reds and the Guardians, and things didn't look good. But they're able to take the first two in San Diego tonight, winning it to the tune of 4-3, getting one game above 500 again after dropping those last two. And the Padres are now second in the NL West at 31-23, even with their offensive struggles, still doing pretty well. But tonight wasn't one of those comeback wins for the Padres. It was a big win, big series win, well-needed win for your fighting Phillies. I want to thank all you for joining me tonight, late night Phillies fans who hung in this whole game. Offensively, Phillies living and dying by the home run, it seems to be, and right now they're living. But we all know how long does that last for. We'll, hopefully much more offense to come, and not just by the long ball. One of those four runs weren't by the long ball, but the other three were, and from different guys who needed it. Let's be honest, who needed some action from the bat, as well as Aaron Nola. I really kind of grimaced a little bit before tonight's game. Like, I'm gonna wait up late to do a late night show with Aaron Nola on the mound, and maybe it's a little West Coast love he needed. These guys seem to be playing better at home better at away than they are at home. I don't know, but 4-3 victory for your Phillies over the Padres. Huge. All four of those runs come in the first, second, and third inning. After that, it would have been quiet for the most part from the scoring standpoint, except for one in the eighth for the Padres. Just not enough. 101 saves tonight for Duran, which was looking good. Injury update, we'll keep an eye on Brandon Marsh, who was batting fourth tonight. Kyle Schwarber got the lead off tonight. Didn't do too hot in the lead off. He had a couple balls that just fell short, but other guys picked up a long ball where he had not had it tonight. Well, we took two from the overachieving wreck of a team, 11-19 when Amundo plays. Yeah, Mundo got the start. Is it just the Garcia situation? Is it the pitching matchup? That's a big question right there. Hey, who got the win on the mound tonight? Was that Nola? Interesting. All right, listen. Dave, you flexing on me at 12:23 a.m. On a Phillies win because Aaron Nola had one good game, maybe the second good game all season long. It's not much of a flex. It's like oh well, we in 10 games we won 2 of them. Well, you're not flexing on that. Let's relax on that, and we'll talk a little bit about that tonight as well. It was a good game tonight. Again, I would like to see some more offense that wasn't off the long ball, but the guys had it. And again, 3 long balls, one coming from Harper, other one coming from Turner, and the other one from Remuto, which was especially those two guys, Turner and Remuto. Turner needed it. He was 0 for 18 or 19 at that point, so that was huge. Harper picking it up for Schwarber, who got like I said, in the leadoff tonight. There's a lack of choices. Was it trying just to change things up? Whatever it was, I guess it worked for tonight. We'll see if it continues. Now, we'll touch on the scoring. Marsh 2 for 2. Yeah, so like I said, Marsh got caught leaning, I should say, in the first. Still had he was trying to reach the bag, had his hands up. First baseman swiped at him to get him out, and kind of, I guess, bent his fingers back. Came back in, play a little bit longer, but I guess they were just being cautious, and took him out for the rest of the game. Got Garcia into the game for him, which didn't add up too much on the offensive standpoint from his end. Noah had a good game. He absolutely did. And again, Dave, on Dave's standpoint, I'm not taking away from tonight's game, and it was nice to see, them get a win. let's be honest, he is now he gets the W tonight. He's 3 for 4 on the season with a 5.72 ERA. You're flexing on a 5.72 ERA. I mean, let's see him a couple of those before we flex on that. Sorry, still not feeling much positivity with this group. Well, Elephant, I don't blame you. I really don't. I don't blame you for not having too much positivity because there was some magic. This team looked like they were unbeatable when Don Mattingly took over for Topper. And that kind of cooled off, whatever you want to call it. And now they're kind of back to what we expected them to be before they were really bad. And maybe that's what it is. It's like when a 6 stands next to a 3, kind of looks like an 8. You know what I mean? It's like, not to be a jerk, but this team is a solid 7.5, but they're not winning prom queen, and if they do win anything, it's not going to be easy. Like, they don't look like a give me team like the Dodgers would be at this point. But you shouldn't feel a ton of positivity with this group at this moment, um, because of that. Because this team, there's so many glaring holes. Aaron Nola being one of them. Yes, tonight was a good night for him. Maybe a little home cooking in San Diego did him good, Dave. I don't know. Yeah, I told you all pitchers go through it. He was on point tonight. He was due for a good win. Okay, so again, when you say somebody is due, like a hitter is like 0 for 30 and he gets a hit, he was due. Are you flexing when you're 0 or when you're 1 and 30? Or do you flex when he kind of gets back on pace and that 30 kind of goes away and it just looks like a nothing burger? Like Trey Turner had a good night tonight. Is he going to start flexing, or is he's hopefully going to build off it? It's all talking about building off. Dave, I'm not saying Aaron Nola can't do it, but we're going to break him down, and maybe he listened a little bit to me where he has to kind of reinvent the way he's doing things. He wasn't overpowering guys. He is trying to use other pitches besides his four-seamer, because his four-seam pitch is kind of been not great at all. I mean, I think opposing hitting's plus 400 on him with his four-seam fastball compared to his other pitches. So maybe he's reinventing himself, like I said, but he has to figure it out. But you can't flex on a guy who had maybe his second, third good game all season long. On May 27th, he did not have a good season last year. Year before that, he was okay. He was good, but he's getting paid 25 plus or 20, $24.5 million a year. We got 4 more years of this. You feel comfortable with? You're telling me you feel comfortable 4 more years of Aaron Nola, that he's going to come around and he's going to be a solid starting pitcher with a 3-ish ERA for the next 4 years from here on out? You're willing to bet the house on that? I'm not. He a lot of it, I think, is a little bit between the ears, and again, I think a little bit has to be he has to reinvent his way of pitching. 410, we go for the sweep. Yep, absolutely. Tomorrow, 410, or today, I should say. In the little in 14. Let's see, it's 12:30. So okay, so 16 hours, a little less than 16 hours. We're gonna see them go for a sweep, and hopefully they can get the sweep. That would be huge after dropping 2 series at home, going for a sweep here, because you have to go to the Dodgers, Dodgers are one of the best teams, if not the best team in baseball right now. So you need all you can get, and Dodgers are really put on a clinic right now. We'll get into that when we get to the scoring, the around the bases today. Nola gave up 2 runs against an old shitty lineup where the best hitter is a White Sox throwaway in Gavin Sheets. I mean, that's another thing. The Padres are a Western version of the Phillies in some ways. Good pitching. They have some high payroll with some names that are good, and they brought in some other guys that were good but haven't been good in a while. I mean, despite the fact they're 31-23, right? Let's give them where their credit's due. But runners in scoring position, they would make us look like the best in baseball. Offense of stringing balls together. Like they have I think the most comeback wins in the ninth inning in all of baseball at 4 or 5 so far this season. I heard them say a stat like they were 31-6 in not outscoring opposition 31-6 in the ninth inning. So that's huge. Now, granted, depends on what everything looks like. Are they already up by that point? But they've done well. But they're also, it's the Padres. I mean, for what they've paid out, just like the Phillies payroll wise, for a lot of stuff that they have actually, because I guess also being in the same division as the Dodgers does not help. But how many postseason runs has the Padres had recently? Not much. Not much. Even making the postseason, let alone runs. So again, Nola got a good matchup in the sense of a struggling offense, a hard from the string hits together. I mean, we'll talk about it for a second. Let's kind of dive into it. Nola went 6 innings, which was great to see after he hasn't been able to get past 4 or 5. Only allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. That's the big thing. No walks. He wasn't giving the gimmies. He wasn't giving away. He only threw 80 pitches. He could have went 7 innings. And that's the thing is they pulled him out because they're afraid he was going to start doing it. But like I said, he's 5.72 ERA. I'm not flexing on a guy right now. You can't tell me that you're feeling comfortable with a guy in Aaron Nola in the future and being $100 million guy still. When you have a lot of bad contracts in them, Aaron Nola is probably one of the top bad contracts because it's still a while ago, and I don't know if he can do that. We kept Tatis off the base. Well, no offense, Tatis has kept himself off the base as of lately. But no, they haven't allowed him to string too many hits together. That was the one hit, and we'll get into that for a second. Let's see. That was, Manny Machado had the 2-run homer. Gavin Sheets got on after. I mean, if you kind of look at it, did he keep the ball? Did Trey keep the ball from going in the outfield? Was he able to stab it down, or did he misplay it? Either way, Gavin Sheets was able to get on in the next next pitch, pretty much. Manny Machado came up and just belted a line drive home run to left field, which gave the two of those runs, 2 of the 3 runs for the Padres. Which, listen, everybody just it's like that scene from what's it called? Oh God, funny movie. Naked Gun. When everybody slapped their head all simultaneously just across. That's all Phillies Nation right there. Just slapping themselves in the head. We're like, here's vintage Nola, but he didn't. So that's where I'm gonna give Nola his today was a good game. In today's game, in tonight's game, I should say, or this early morning game. Overall, Aaron Nola today pitched very well. We couldn't ask much more for Aaron Nola. If he pitches like this from here on out, I will gladly eat crow. Elephant in the room says the Padres' future looks worse than ours, in my opinion. Yeah, there's just probably not as much heat against them because it's in San Diego. Our baseball team's no good, but we live in San Diego. It's so nice, and we're all happy, and you know, that's it. Are there still Chargers fans out there? So even though the Chargers moved to LA, how does that work? I mean, it's kind of tough. West Coast teams, man, they get moved around, especially in football a lot. Preller is a bad GM. Yeah, I'm going to say the Braves are the best team right now. Dodgers are there, but I'll take Atlanta at this point in the season. Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers have more star power in a 7-game series. I'm going to lean more towards the Dodgers, and at this rate. NLCS, if it's Dodgers Braves, I'm going to lean right now towards the Dodgers a little bit more. They have more star power, I think, but overall, I'm not going to argue those facts too much. He's bad like Dave Dombrowski. making the team Dombrowski. He's worse. He traded Wood, Gore, and Abrams for Soto, who flipped a year and a half later for I forgot his name. He's yeah, I know. The whole Soto thing was a huge thing. How do you not sign a guy after trading away King's ransom of players? But hey, that's why I agree with you that we're not as bad, but we're still not in the driver's seat. We are one bad injury away. Like if here, let this sink in. Brandon Marsh goes down for a little while with a hand injury. What do we do? You have Amundo Sosa out in the left field a lot. You have to pull somebody else up here. I mean, our depth is weak. You have Otto Kemp come up and play left field. You know, it's a question. I mean, nobody's bingo card had Brandon Marsh in late May, going on June of 2026 as the number one hitter on the Philadelphia Phillies. Not anybody's bingo card. Let's look at the box scores right now. Schwarber got a hit at the end of the game here, making it 1 for 5 on the evening. No strikeouts, I guess, is a good thing. He was in the leadoff position tonight. I guess, again, they were trying to change some things up. Trey Turner has been struggling, and I guess you can't complain. You got a little bit of we're up a creek without a paddle, no doubt. Yeah. I mean, listen, we will Elephant and I and other people who feel this way will definitely gladly eat crow walking down Broad Street if the Phillies come and win the whole thing. But Dave, I don't care how much of a huge fan you are and how much this team is good, but not good enough. Right? They're good enough to make a postseason. They're good enough to maybe make a little waves in the postseason, but that is about as far as they can go. We've seen it year in and year out since 2022. This team fails when we need them the most. So we're not going to get there tonight. Yeah, we're talking about JT in a second, Dave. But Schwarber was 1 for 5 in the leadoff. One sharp left, opposite field left hitter. He actually got base running wise didn't do well when he got on there because he got doubled up. And that was about it. But Turner had a good game tonight, well needed. Like I said, at one point in this game, he was 0 for 18, 0 for 19. But he was 2 for 5 on the night with 1 run scored, or RBI, and a strikeout, which that RBI was the third inning solo shot. Harper had a decent night tonight, 1 for 2, 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Marsh was 2 for 2 tonight before he was taken out of the game. Garcia was 0 for 1 with a walk. Bohm was 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI. That was that RBI we talked about where he singles a ground ball to center field, and Bryce Harper scores on that one. Stott was 0 for 4 tonight with a strikeout. Remuto had a really good night tonight, as we talked about. 2 for 3, 1 run scored, 1 RBI, which was that just bullet of a shot to left field. Knocked off the building that's in the left field there. Crawford 0 for 4 tonight. He's down to a 229 in the batting average. You know, I don't know if it's ready to hit the panic button moment yet on that, but like again, we're losing. We're losing ground here with quality players. We've been able to hold our own since that 9-19 start, but Sosa was 0 for 4 tonight with one strikeout. Tonight at 34 at bats, 4 runs scored off of 9 hits, 4 RBIs, 3 walks, and only 4 strikeouts. And that's your big difference. They're making contact, but they're getting a big contact. The question is, can they continue with this? Because would have a better team like the Braves or the Dodgers in this same situation not scored a little bit more tonight? Probably. If you want to look at it, Tatis was 1 for 4 tonight. Bogart was 1 for 4 tonight. Sheets was 1 for 3 with a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. Johnson came in, pitch ran for him. Machado was 1 for 3 tonight with a run scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Andor, the DH was Andor, however you say it, 0 for 4. I said Andor for all you Star Wars fans. 0 for 4 1 strikeout. Merrill was 0 for 4 tonight with 2 strikeouts. France was 0 for 4 tonight with 4 strikeouts. He actually ended the game on that strikeout. Uh, Laurenio was 1 for 3 with 1 run scored, 1 RBI, and a strikeout. And Furman was 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. Castellanos pitch hit tonight, and he was 0 for 1 with a strikeout, touting amazing 1.82 or 1.182 ERA right now. I'm sorry, average, not ERA, average. Sorry, it's late night. But and Duran came and catched it after that. But you know, not that I'm not flexing on Garcia, who's has a 204, but we pretty much traded in one Castellanos for not as annoying and much better defensively in Garcia. But they were in 32 at bats tonight, 3 runs, 5 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. That's a big difference right there. They're just, right now, I mean, batting average team wise, if you look at it, it's not too undifferent than the Phillies. They have a couple guys who are like Machado is batting a 173 right now, and if Harper was batting a 173, we'd be choking right now. Merrill's batting a 194. You got a low Laurenio at 211. Their catcher tonight was 143 tonight. Furman. So I mean, again, despite the fact that they're not the West Coast version of the Phillies, they didn't fall into the hole that we fell into. That's your big difference. I don't think they stay hot long enough anymore to make a serious run. So you were saying they don't make the postseason, or they do make the postseason, but that's about it, because it wouldn't be par for the course for them to make the postseason and then just get cold. And I mean, I would prefer them to have to play a 2-game series, a wild card maybe, to help them get hot. I don't want to see them wait if they have to. Rojas is pitching for the Dodgers. I said it last night. Sometimes when you go on the road, you play with nothing to lose. It's not a bad thing. Well, it's not you're playing nothing to lose, Dave. That's a little different. You're playing with less eyes and pressure and boos. It's one thing when an opposing team boos you because they don't like you, or you're usually sometimes when the opposing team's booing you 9 times, like a good amount of time, you're doing good and they don't like it. Like, that's the big difference. When you're at home, I mean, listen, you don't think that Aaron Nola knows that he's got 4 years, $100 million, and it's going to be miserable if he's barely a 4 or 5 guy rotation pitcher, or he is pretty much become the new Taijuan Walker, where it was all. I mean, again, like we're celebrating Nola tonight, great for tonight, but like Taijuan Walker, he would have 1 or 2 good games out of 15. And we know how that played out. It's just a worse contract. He is Taijuan Walker on steroids at this current moment. Hopefully he get better. And that's all. The problem with this, Dave, is all we can hope is hope. We can hope that it's more mental than physical, and he can fix his ways and move on and be better. But if you have to base everything on hope, and again, this is why I really do, I keep saying this, I'm on the record saying this, I really hope baseball follows football and hockey with contracts that aren't 100% guaranteed, because this is the problem you fall into. The game becomes stale, and like you get stuck in these ways and you can't get out of it. I mean, maybe if he does well on the West Coast, maybe some West Coast team will take a stab at him. But for $24.5 million a year and boasting a 5.72 ERA, and after last year, like he would have to do a lot better between now and the trade deadline or the end of the season for anybody to even take a stab at him. It's a bad contract. It really is. I mean, I thought it was a good idea when they signed him. I thought it was a lot of money. And again, this is Dombrowski's fault. Both him and Schwarber made a lot more money because they bet on themselves and pitched well when they did, or played well when they did, and then they're getting it. He could have probably saved $20-30 million a guy if maybe instead of it'd have been 20 million a year for Nola versus 24.5 million, and you're like, well, Al's 4.5 million. What are you complaining about? Well, $20 million makes a little bit of a difference when you want to sign other guys. You know what I mean? Like he rolled the dice and he lost. Rojas in what? Rojas pitching for Rojas who? I don't know what you mean. Star Wars, if you want to give me a full name and why this is important to us right now. So on the pitching tonight, Aaron Nola, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. That was the 2-run jack from Manny Machado. 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run, which we talked about. Which great night for him. I'll take this every night, every time he pitches, any time of the week. I'm fine with that. I mean, would I prefer him better? But if he could pitch like this every game, I'll be okay with that. Much better than we're dealing with. And then 5 strikeouts isn't bad, but he's not trying to strike out 10 guys. He's inducing outs in a different way, and it showed tonight and showed in this confidence night. Kirkland came in and with in 1 inning, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Keller, Cardiac Keller, Brad Keller, who was supposed to be the big signing for the bullpen, has hopefully he can get better. But 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run. There was the earned run, which we talked about, where Raymond Loreno homered to left field. Luckily, he was the only one on base, which kept the game 4-3. Because after the 3rd inning, our offense went cold. He won 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned with a walk, a strikeout, and a home run, as we mentioned. And Johan Duran came in 1 inning, was throwing some. He was actually not even throwing the fastball. A lot of splitters, even a knuckle curve, and had 2 strikeouts, able to secure the series win tonight, getting his 101st series win. And last night with his 101st save, and last night he was able to get a save against every team in Major League Baseball, and one of the fastest people to do so. And he was able to get his 100th save with us last night. Also, and getting one of the few Phillies to do so, up there with Tug McGraw. So that was really cool. So 9 innings pitching. Had 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, only 2 walks, which is good, and 11 strikeouts. Big thing there. And the 2 home runs, which, Phillies and Padres both trying to live by the long ball, and it's just Phillies are playing it a little better right now. That's it. Pitching wise, Vasquez, he gave him the innings. He gave him the innings. That way he wouldn't have to tax the bullpen too much going into an early game. But he went 5 2/3 innings with 8 hits, 4 runs, all 4 of them earned, with a walk, only 2 strikeouts, but 3 home runs. That's your big difference right there. Rodriguez went 1 1/3 inning, 1 strikeout. Peralta went 1 inning with 2 walks, and Morjan went 1 inning with 1 hit and a strikeout. That hit was the Kyle Schwarber one, but he got caught some bad base running, decision making, and got the quick quick 3 outs in the 9 inning there. 9 innings, they let up 9 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, but 3 home runs. That again is your big difference. And again, it's Nola went 80 through 80 pitches tonight, 54 strikeouts. That was, that's good to see. Vasquez had to throw 99 and got 65 strikeouts. Like I said, took him 5 2/3 innings to get 99, and get that far. Nola got 80, so 19 less in 6 innings, an extra third of an inning. And he probably, and anybody else would have went further. And I listen, it paid off. I kind of was wondering if Don would send him out to try to get 7, but probably smart. Let him build a little confidence. He got 6 full innings. Maybe if he gets another couple on his back, he'll that next time he would let him stay out. If Turner makes that play at short, Nola's no hitter is still on. Damn you, Turner. Agreed. Listen, I'm not worried about a no hitter, but Dave, at the same time, the it's the same old. Like he gets a base runner, and that's when he starts to choke, and he lets up a line drive home run to Manny Machado. Like it's a little bit of his mo. It was just not enough to burn us tonight. It wasn't too many of them. It was one time again, and if we can keep him to two earned runs or less a game, I'm not hating that. This offense should be able to sustain that, but yeah, again, I'm not really super worried about keeping things in keeping hit no hitters and stuff like that going. I mean, it would be nice, sure, but I believe if he had a big 9 innings pitch no hitter tonight, he would have came out and been crap for the next 5 starts. So probably better off he didn't. Let's take a trip down the old Broad Street bottom line. All right, guys, Broad Street bottom line tonight. Bottom line is they got the series victory on the West Coast against one of the better teams in baseball right now. A team, has a lot of like struggles as the Phillies. The Phillies are taking advantage of that after dropping 2 series, um, at home. Now they go for the sweep tomorrow at 4:10, as I think it was Star Wars who said earlier. Um, if Nola ever throws a no hitter, I would never say a bad word again. Again, if Nola throws a no hitter, elephant, it's all about how you respond, like from adversity and victory. Like both of them all talk about it's all about response. Do you know uh Michael Lorenin, like take him for instance. He had that no hitter and what since after that it was nothing. Like he could barely pitch again. Now it's a little bit of a difference, but is it really that different? No. We got again, it's how these guys respond to adversity as well as victory in some ways. Um, that's how I look at it. And like I said, bottom line is they win tonight. Nola gets a well needed win. It's all about getting well needed things. Romuto gets a needed hit and home run, gets his 500th career extra base hit tonight with that home run. Trey Turner gets off the schneid, gets 2 hits tonight, one of them being a home run as well. Um, that's your bottom line. You got 3 guys who really needed something, and they got it tonight. Aaron Nola got a win in a good game, a good pitching game. Like no real huge setbacks. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad at all either. Um, Turner, Romuto, and Harper, who kept kind of missing home runs by the skin of his teeth, got one tonight and kind of picking it up for that first 2 of those hits tonight from I don't know if it was the cameraman, the sound, the well placed microphone. I thought Schwarber had 2 home runs tonight, like just the way it came off the bat. Like that's what I felt like. But obviously he didn't, and it felt like he was trying. That's all he was trying to do in the leadoff spot. Like, and again, I don't like seeing him in leadoff. I understand Trey's struggling. I understand there's really not many choices, and you're looking for anything to turn it on its head. I would have rather seen Brandon Marsh in leadoff, personally. Brandon Turner, Harper, Schwarber. But then again, who's your 5 guy? Is it Alec Boehm, JT, who's been struggling for the most part? I mean, there's really no good. I mean, that's the thing is, this is why you can't get excited about this team because there's still plenty of holes and gaps to be filled in. They're good enough to compete, but there's too many ways to beat them, and outside of just playing some perfect baseball and everybody playing above their level, it's really hard to swallow and believe that this is a World Series contending team. And that's it. And I don't want to get into the World Series contending team on May 27th at 12:55 a.m. But just overall, I can understand why people would have doubts. And this team really needs to make some changes. And could they do enough between now and the trade deadline to make changes without also killing themselves? Like Trout kind of trades, which would be all in. So then again, I think the Ada Miller injury sets them back. But tonight was bottom line is a lot of well needed things occurred for the Phillies. The only thing we hope that wasn't well needed is this injury to Marsh was just a setback for tonight. Hopefully, he can play tomorrow. Because if he don't play tomorrow, this lineup's going to look interesting. You take Marsh out of it. Like again, where do you move people around to? Is Bohm back to hitting four or Garcia five? Four and five of those two. Put Stott. Everybody just moves up. It's no good way about it. So hopefully he's. It's nothing. It's more precautionary than they did tonight. Um, let's uh let's take a trip around the bases and see what's going on in the rest of the league tonight. All right, guys, around the base brought to you by the great people of the It's a Wrap Sports Network here. Don't forget tomorrow's game, Wednesday game, 4:10. Mike Lauro will be on the call at the end of it for you, and hopefully talking about a series sweep, which would help take a lot of the sting out of those two series losses that they came off of, and kind of give you the good momentum moving against the Dodgers, because they need all the momentum to get, because that's staring down the barrel right there. Um, Rest of the week, tomorrow you have the Phillies postgame and the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Final word on Thursday with Matty B. I'm back on Friday with the Phillies Friday Frenzy as well as Slash Fightings Final. Um, and what time is that game? Because I want to give you guys um, an idea of what I'm going to do, because if it's West Coast, um, that's going to Dodgers Friday. It's 10:15. So 10:15. I might do two separate shows. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. 10:15. That means the game's not over until about 1 o'clock in the morning. It's two late nights. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'll see what I'm gonna do. I'll keep you guys posted on that. It's kind of, I could do a show leading into it like I normally do, but that in the middle of the game. But who's gonna want to talk about the Eagles at midnight? But I'm sure everybody will. But the best is wrap on Saturday, as well as the Phillies Dodgers post game, and then Sunday with me and Mike on Philly AM Sports and Phillies Dodgers post game. Hopefully with another series win. That would be really nice to see. But we will see where that takes us. Looking around the bases right now, all games have gone final for the evening of May 26th, even though we are on early morning 1 a.m. at May 27th. Washington beat Cleveland 6-3. They are now 2 games over 500. Washington, that is. Tampa Bay lost to Baltimore 6-1. High scoring game. Angels beat Detroit 10-6. Both of them at 21 and 34. Pittsburgh just beat up on Chicago tonight 12-1. Both those teams sitting at 29 and 26. Atlanta beat Boston 7-6. 37 and 18 for the Braves on the season so far. They're kind of run away with it, because a lot of it's like teams are either doing really well or just sitting in the middle, going back and forth. A few games over 500 or under 500. Miami lost to Toronto 8-1 tonight. They're 26 and 30. The Mets lost to Cincinnati 7-2. The Mets are sitting at 22 and 33. Minnesota had to go 11 innings to beat the White Sox 5-3. The Yankees, another walloping tonight, 15-1. They're 33 and 22. There's another team not to forget about, because we talk about the Dodgers and we talk about the Braves. The Yankees are 33 and 22 on the season, but they beat up on the Royals 15-1 tonight, who have the opposite win loss with 22 and 33. St. Louis lost to Milwaukee 6-0. Milwaukee's doing pretty well too, 32-20 on the season. Texas beat Houston, another high-scoring game, 10-7. Seattle beat the Athletics 4-1. As we all know, the Phillies beat the Padres 4-3. Arizona beat San Fran 7-5. There's another one. Arizona doing pretty well, 30-24 right now in the season. Keep your eye on them. And Colorado, another high-scoring game. I guess that's right. I think that's what Star Wars was talking about. I guess they had a positional pitcher come in. The 35-20 Dodgers beat the Colorado Rockies, who are 20-36, almost the opposite on the win-loss, 15-6. So a 21-point scored, 21 runs scored in that game. I believe a lot of them came later on a position pitch, or they took a position player to pitch. In this case, because they were up 15-0, 15-1, pretty late in the season. So you had two teams that scored 15 points tonight, and two the better teams, Dodgers and Yankees, offensive scoring machines, and we're not them. I mean, that's the key factor here. We are not those teams. We can be at times. We can score like that at times, but it is more cold than it's not cold. Even Washington is 28-27 right now. They're one game over 500. Scored 10 runs. I mean, again, any team can score 10 runs on a given night, but it's consistency and depth, which both were lacking. But I will enjoy this ride as we can. Hopefully, again, we're talking about a series sweep tomorrow. Guys, I know it's late night. I'm not going to keep you much longer. I appreciate for those people who did join in tonight, who are still watching. I see a couple of you, a good amount of you on YouTube and Facebook. So I know you're still watching. So I appreciate you guys as always. Hopefully, again, we're talking series win. That's a 4-10 pitching matchup tomorrow. Let's see. Do we know? So Christopher Sanchez going against Buehler. I mean, from a pitching standpoint, definitely the Phillies have a much better, how Christopher is. He's riding also, probably a good team to play against to beat to take the history away from Grover Cleveland Alexander for that scoreless inning streak to stay alive. I think he only needs four, something like that, 4 innings pitch to tie or something like that. So he could do that tomorrow. So keep your eye on it. He has a 1.62 ERA with 86 strikeouts, 5-2 on the season against Buehler, a right-handed pitcher, which helps this lineup a little bit. Who is 3-2 on the season with a 5.05 ERA with 41 strikeouts. So it definitely plays in the favor for the Phillies. And that usually spells disaster for us by what I just said there. It's like, the Phillies should really be able to hit Buehler tonight, and then don't hit him at all. So we will see. Time will tell. So guys, stay tuned. Michael R will be on that for you tomorrow. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you guys next time.